So welcome to Halong Bay, Vietnam, where we are not in an IHG hotel, amazingly, because they don't have one here yet. It is coming. But we wanted to talk today about how we have been doing, spending these 5 months now in hotels, almost all of it in IHG hotels, and really why it can work, why it actually has made our lives pretty darn nice.
Very, very different from our experience with Airbnbs. We're loving it, and we want to share with you how you also can do it.
Absolutely. It is possible to live on the budget you set and stay in in hotels. Now, there are plenty of budget hotels on the beaches, the islands throughout Southeast Asia and other parts of the world, but we're talking about staying in some pretty darn nice hotels with views like that. So, what was life like in an apartment, if we can remember?
We can remember. Let's see. We have to spend more time. I'm sorry, my back still hurts, so I'm gonna move a little bit. We remember we spend a lot of time, cooking and cleaning, and it was okay. I cannot complain about that, but at the same time, comparing that to this, I mean, I'll prefer this.
Yeah, and when you are staying in an apartment, generally you're staying a month at a time, sometimes a little bit less, but to get those deals, you stay a month at a time. In case of settling in Portugal, we had a year lease, and you're in one location, and if you want to get around, you need a car or bike if you happen to ride a bike, and you're renting vehicles, and there's a lot of added expenses that go into that kind of lifestyle. Whereas you get to the hotel and your gym is in the building, the pool is outside, sometimes inside. There's a spa if you want to get services done. In some of these nice hotels, there's just a lot of perks of being here. The restaurants are here if you want to eat, and in our situation now that we have lounge access, we're eating in the lounges 2 and 3 meals a day. So our need to go do stuff has disappeared, which frees up more time to do the things we enjoy, which generally involves walking on the beach and hanging out by the pool and going shopping.
And I'm for sure don't miss the cleaning part.
Yeah, we definitely don't miss that part.
Yeah.
The other thing we've really discovered is that hotels are providing us a very fixed cost lifestyle. Our budget is a lot more accurate because now that we have the lounge access and we are staying in hotels that have lounges, our food is built in. But even in the places that it's not, I think we're doing a much better job, kind of sticking to our budget. But we do still have our date nights and our fun nights, and we splurge a bit. But there are some perks with the hotels that is actually taking those bills out of it if we eat here at these hotels with the nice restaurants that have the nice restaurants in them. So also with this loyalty that we've built up now and the perks that we get, we pretty much are able to offset those costs, those added costs. So sometimes our drinks and food are free that we buy outside the lounge.
Yeah, and we also can use some of the perks that you call it. We can use that for the food. We want to eat something different in the restaurants in the hotel, or if not,
or order room service,
or the room service.
Yeah, some days you just don't even want to go up to a lounge, or maybe the food just isn't what you're looking for, and you're just like craving something. You can order almost anything. I mean, these menus at the hotels are pretty wide variety of pastas and sandwiches and burgers and steaks, and so if you want to order something, and then you use your little perk to pay for it. So 5 months in, what have we done? Well, we did have a handful of nights where we were not in IHG hotels, but last year, as we were earning our status, we spent 47 nights for a little over 470,000 points, actually 487,000 points. So basically $51 a night by purchasing those points, not counting the free points that we got off the credit card and things like that, if we just purchased them. $50 a night for some fairly mediocre hotels and a few nice ones.
Yeah, well, you have to do what you have to do in order to get all that benefit status.
Yeah, and so if you're paying attention, a hotel chain offers you a way to either double your nights, or even buy your status, you want to do that. We did it the hard way because we missed out on that opportunity with the offer. But at the end of the year, we earned our status. We started this year by really going into the very, very nice properties in Vietnam, which are already a good value. So even if you're coming over and paying for access, paying for hotel rooms, paying for lounge access, they're pretty good value. We have met a number of people in these lounges that have done that. So in those couple months plus that we've spent now in Vietnam, we've spent 700,000 plus points for 60 nights, which works out right about $60 a night at that half penny a point again. So a little bit above, but we are staying in exponentially better hotels. I mean, the Intercontinentals and Crown Plazas we've been staying at,
they're pretty nice. Yeah.
And we're eating, the food's better, the quality, the sheets and the beds and everything else are better. The gyms are nicer. We're really lacking nothing. There have been weeks we've hardly left the hotel. They're so nice, which is kind of a sad commentary, but sometimes you're just, either lazy or not feeling great and you just stay in.
Mm-hmm.
So what's coming up? So now we have our status. We've earned all this. We have our trip to Japan that we've talked about before. We're going to spend a couple of months in Japan, bouncing around, seeing cherry blossoms, meeting friends in Okinawa, and we're spending right at 60 nights in IHG hotels there as well. Mm-hmm. Now, Japan is a slightly more expensive place, so it works out to closer to $75 a night down there. But we really do need to take advantage of those lounges to help our budget. But that's why we stayed in Vietnam so long, to keep our budget down, save some money, and we can apply that to ourselves in Japan. And then what are we doing after Japan?
After Japan, of course, because we're going to spend a little more money over there, we're going to come back to Vietnam to balance our budget again.
Yep. We are going to kind of probably spend some time even in a kind of a mixed condo hotel situation where we'll get some of the perks, but maybe not all of them. And we will have the opportunity to do a little bit of, I'd say cooking, but I think more of bringing in takeout. I don't see us doing a lot of cooking unless we have to. It's amazing. As much as I've loved cooking my whole life, I haven't missed it, really. There's only a couple of things that you make that I miss having.
I've been thinking about that. I really miss to make my arepas, my Colombian arepas, my Colombian empanadas. So maybe we're going to have an opportunity to, if we find the ingredients, to cook and make those.
Yeah, we'll see. We got a whole summer involved going around other parts of Southeast Asia, so we'll see what ends up happening there. Mm-hmm. But again, when we go back to why you should really consider the perks of the hotel, we mentioned, or the benefits of kind of retiring to hotels, is those extra perks that you get. Mm-hmm. We mentioned the lounges, but you get flexibility to cancel. I just today booked a flight at an earlier date than we had originally planned in Japan to come back to Vietnam, and had to cancel a bunch of our hotels that we'd already booked into June, and we get all our points back. There's no cost, there's no arguing, there's no nothing. Within seconds, everything's back and I'm able to rebook some other things. Yeah. So that flexibility has been huge.
Yeah, I think that's, it takes a lot of heaviness of the planning and not being sure about it out of your shoulders. Yeah. So give you a peace of mind, I guess.
Yeah. And the other part that we've really enjoyed beyond the pools and the gyms and spas and stuff at the hotels is we've really met a number of people many of them who are retirees, who some are traveling on extended travel. They love coming over to Asia, so they come over here for 2, 3, 4 months. Other people are doing what we do. They've been inspired by YouTubers like Rob and Allie from Grounded Life, or Brian and Carrie. Yeah. And so they provided that inspiration, and we hope we are providing some inspiration for you. Now, hotels are great. We recommend it. They're a great way to control your costs. You get free points when you sign up the credit card. If both of you can get the credit card, if you're Americans, then you can double up. Mm-hmm. We've met people doing this. We buy points. IHG is a great property for that, but the other hotel chains have some good perks too. But really, it's been really nice to just experience a different style of life even I had as a road warrior when I was working. But yeah, the hotel life is something I think you should take advantage of when you travel. I think when you go on vacation, you just kind of oftentimes you hit the hotel and you just hang out and all that. Living in hotels the way we are has been different and eye-opening. We are definitely seeing the value that you get from these extras.
Not just that, I think for me especially, one of the things that I love the most is that we have the opportunity to share our story with people who works in the hotel, and after listening to what we're doing, uh, they're like, so I can do that too. And
Yeah.
it's like they feel so well, they show that they get excited about, maybe in the future they can do the same.
Yeah, and not as retirees, because these are a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds, but they're just thinking, wow, maybe it's possible to leverage the travel opportunities they get with the brand that they work for, with an IHG, and get some good value out of that, as opposed to just bunking on friends' couches or staying in really inexpensive places. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, again, we really wanted to share with you what it's been like for us, why we think it is a tremendous value. Again, if you're just going on vacation, it could still work, maybe without the loyalty and perks. But if you have, for work, built up your loyalty and all that, and you have status, take advantage of it. It will help you. And as you move into more extended travel, maybe you're semi-retired, maybe your kids are taking over the business or something like that. Boy, I can't recommend this life enough. Even if you're only going for a little while on a trip, it's really nice to be pampered, but still have the flexibility that your budget is not being blown up by some of these hotels. Anyway, take care. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.